And I wanted you, if you could, imagine yourselves growing up without a mother. If you grew up without a mother, you never knew her, you never met her as much as you recall, and every time you asked somebody about her, they told you she had died. And that's all. They wouldn't tell you anything more. You asked, what was she like? What did she like? She looked like nothing. They just told you she died, and that's all you had. And as time went on, you sort of got tired of asking. And so you stopped. You stopped asking about her. You stopped looking for her. And in a way, life got busy, and you moved about, and it was full and good, and you sort of forgot about this whole mother figure at all. You just went on and lived without her, and it was normal. And then one day, you learned that she was alive. And not only alive, but living in the same town as you, right down the street. She'd been there all along, and she always wanted to see you and connect with you, but the connections never worked. People didn't give you the message. People didn't see the importance. It's a big deal, People didn't recognize her, didn't know how important it was for you to keep connected. Some people intentionally didn't want you to meet, so kept her hidden, kept you separated. But she wanted to meet you. How do you feel? How does that make you feel, just that scenario and that?
Betrayed.
Pardon me?
Betrayed.
Betrayed. What else don't you know, right? If they didn't tell me this, what else did I know?
It feels really warm with potential.
And at the same time, gets me a little nervous, wondering how's my life going to change? I'm doing all right. Do I really need her now? Do I need it? What's going on?
I'd like you've lost part of your life.
You lost part of your life.
Yeah. Maybe it's, you can never get that part that other people have that you think they have and you don't.
Did you guys hear that? Okay. Yes.
I'm excited to learn about her. She's right down the street. Oh my God!
Well, that scenario, that story, those feelings capture my beginning of looking for the sacred feminine and discovering her. And I had been on that path for a long time, reading about it, and talking with other women, and writing, and journaling, and wondering, and moving toward it. But I hadn't used artwork until 2005, and that's what started this decade of reweaving. And when I did, for some reason, I'd been going to an art class, and I wanted to do something that was brand new, something that would help me explore this, that wasn't a familiar thing for me. I wasn't an artist. I didn't do paints, and I had never done oil painting. And so for me, it was a new medium, something new that made my brain fall apart from familiar and do a new task. Because sometimes that helps us break open a new aspect of it. So that's why I ventured into it. And the sacred feminine, I don't know how familiar, that word can mean a lot of things to a lot of people. For me, it means the strength, the strong feminine aspect in ourselves, not just women, in everyone. We have that, the empowered, the loving and nurturing part, the part that has a vision. That's what it is, and I'm sure as we go around the room, you'll feel more of what that means to me, and maybe what it opens in you as well. So the first piece that I did was Babushka Madonna. And I did that because growing up, I grew up Catholic, and the only image I had of sacred feminine that I really could even put a face to or an image to was the Catholic Virgin Mary. And she's an important figure in the Catholic faith, but she's kind of backseatish. And if you look at her, this is a very familiar image of her. Downward cast eyes, always cloaked, demure, a virgin. And I looked at her and did what I was supposed to with her and felt a semblance of connection, but I never really could aspire to be that. Growing up, it was a distance. There was no connection really in that way of really emulating and getting connected to that sacred feminine figure. And then as I got older, I didn't want to. I really didn't want to connect to demure and downward cast eyes and backseat and, oh yeah, her. I thought that's not really what I'm looking for here in this journey, in this life. And so I thought I didn't know anyone else, so I created one. And that's where Babushka Madonna came in. I was in my early 40s, and I was just starting to feel like elderhood was upon me, was coming up. And I wanted a figure that was something that would guide me there, kind of pull me into that space of elderhood. I wanted something to connect to. And when I think of, these things, these images and statues, for me are portals. They're portal to what they represent. And so that's what I was creating here, is just a portal, some image that I could find as sacred in a more familiar face for me. And so Babushka Madonna came to me. And as I was painting her, a couple of funny stories, well, I don't know, I think they're funny. I went to Ellis Island. Joel and I took a little trip, quick trip one Memorial Day weekend to see an artist there, Gregory Colbert, if you ever hear of him or know him, loved him. And we went out to see him, and while we were there, we said, well, what else should we do? We're going to go to Ellis Island. So we decided to go to Ellis Island and look up his grandfather, who came from Germany in the mid-20s. And when we get there and pay our $5 to go into the computer room where you have access to all their records, now you can do that at home, but then you couldn't, at least I don't think so. And so we're there, and we find out that the records don't go as far as the mid-20s. And we've already paid our $5, and I want to get my money's worth, so who can we look up? And I said, well, let me look up my grandmother. My grandmother, Barasuc, B-A-R-A-S-U-C, was from Croatia. She came in 1919. And I thought, well, maybe we can find her in the database. And sure enough, we did. So we found her. We found where she sailed from. We saw her ship's manifest and all that kind of fun stuff. Called my aunt. We were all excited. And then I came home. And that was good. I put it aside. And then I'm painting in my room one day. And my son, not the one who's here, the other one, came home from school and walked into the room and said, why are you painting a picture of Grandma? And I said, oh, I'm not. I'm not. This is a lady. I mean, because I didn't even have an image. I wasn't even going by a picture. I was just like, I was painting a lady. And he's like, no, that looks like Grandma. And I thought, oh my, it does. It kind of looks like my mother, whose mother was Barasuc. And so suddenly, it took a twist for me, that it wasn't just this random person that would guide me into elderhood. It was this really close connection. And it made me realize that the sacred is very close. It's in my mother, it's in my grandmother, it's right there. It's in every elder I see. I could really feel that. It also felt really metaphorical for me, because I was really touched by how she left home, as so many of our ancestors did, left home and never went back to Croatia, never went back, never saw her family again. A sister and a mother and father. Never saw them, and came here for what was next, what a new life. And how frightening that would be, and exciting, just like discovering our mother, right, that we haven't seen. And I just felt like there was that bond. And on the back, I wrote, Grandma Barasuc, left behind unknown, never seen again because there was more. There is more to be. Choosing more, get on the boat, cross the deep water, land on the shore, and step into the unknown. And that's what it felt like I was doing as I embarked on this and had this intense connection, and then what was going to be next. So, what was next, you ask? It was Modern Madonna. And Modern Madonna came next because I thought this was awesome.